This is Love Herself, and this is part 4. I stopped off where I was telling of an evil son who tried to kill God. His name was Donnie, who named himself Prince of Darkness. Trying to kill his own father, his own God, it was a nightmare. So God, love himself, exiled Donnie to Earth Chambers, a city that was open to criminals for disciplining. The city that housed him, Donnie, and others was the only area of Earth that was occupied. Everywhere else on Earth was empty. Lou didn't know it though, so he wandered into that city, and there the evil son was, wanting Lou's suit, his body, since he, the son whose name is Donnie Yisrael, who called himself Prince of Darkness, like I said before, he was punished to not have access to a body. That was his punishment. It's a long story. So Yahweh God resurrected Lou. That's his nickname. His full name is Lucifer. He was once a sweet person. So in Genesis, Lou, he's first written up by wicked editors who renamed him Abel, calling him Abel. And Donnie is the brother, Cain, who killed Abel. And remember, Abel is Lucifer. So Lou, who's being called Abel, was so grateful to Pops Yahweh for resurrecting him and bringing him back to life, till he cried at the fact of learning that it's possible that he's capable of dying. So remember the Lord's Genesis story. It took place on earth in Ethiopia, being called man's first beginning. So later, regardless of the Lord God's miracle that he did for Lucifer, he went back to the area, and being curious, he listened to a story that fascinated him, a story told to him by criminals who were exiled within a city zone, a story that led Lucifer to not want to go back to his home in heaven. So later, as it grew closer to time for God, the Father, and family to launch and take off of and out of up off of Ethiopia, Lou summons family and friends to listen up and not leave, not go back. So he tells the story as he was talking to his family, friends. He tells a story that he had heard to his sisters and his brothers who were in the thousands. And even the 12 tribes were there. The 12 tribal leaders spoken of these days. They listened to Lou, who's being also called the snake, the serpent. But he's not that. In the Garden of Ethiopia. Not in the Garden of Eden, what the enemies, the honorary enemies are calling it. Anyway, Lou had told his siblings, who were the Adamites and the Evites, but enemies wrote them out to be Adam and Eve, as though it was one man and one woman, in the beginning of their Bibles, but it was thousands of angels called the Adamites and Evites. Lou had Lucifer. He told them that they could be their own God, free of the Father God Yahweh. So Yahweh said what he had to say. Then lastly, Yahweh Pops gave them choices, freedom to choose, going back or staying. So many of the angels stayed and chose Lucifer's decision. Yet in the enemy's Bibles, the false stories is printed with some truth, but more lies. So if you read in Revelation 12, 7, you'll see more. Then the Armageddon War broke out. And that's the things that Pops, God Yahweh, gets for resurrecting Lu, who eventually he adopted the new name, Satan. Satan means evil. He called himself Satan Jr. But since Satan Sr. was Pops Yahweh, formerly the world's first devil actor, he, Yahweh, he cast his own evil ways aside. So love set clocks into motion. Love himself, y'all. He set time into operation. He gave them 6 days to do good or evil, which is 6,000 years, remember, to tiny earthlings. So anyway, love flew the family of angels who stuck with him on back to home base, back to home heaven, and went to prepare strategies, since Luke called Yahweh's hand, and wanted war instead of reconciliation. So love's thousands of spaceships left Ethiopia. And those spaceships, they look like stars in the sky, but they're the headlights of the spaceships. Anyway, so they left Ethiopia and they left Earth through the exit, the whirlpool being called the Bermuda Triangle. But it's not that. It's an entrance and an exit for the ships to come and go. So as time moved on, Satan Jr., Lu, became a god. He became a god to this world, Earth. And so the most highest Godfather, love himself, Yahweh, he returned by fleets of ships with 20 million angels to swoop down individually, one by one, and disperse into and around the globe, ready for war. The war of good over bad and love over evil. God or the devil, the loving Father or his evil son. So love chose Zion, Mount Zion, which is coded for Florida. He chose Florida to begin, somewhat their battle for the battleground. So now that's when God and Adam together came into play, into position in Genesis. Adam wasn't made from the dust of the ground. His feet stepped upon earth's grounds once the ships landed. They lie so much, it's ridiculous. Earth was to be used as hell, though. Beautiful earth was to be used as a stage for evil performances or good performances. Anyway, it was the battlegrounds. So not so much anymore of a paradise for picnics and concerts, but for defectors, rebels, and funerals. Anyway, please go to the next message.